you're doing well and everything is okay. With you, Mr. Hajaj, instead of Mr. Omar, since Mr.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
He's sick. Alaikum salam. I would like you guys to tell me which part you stop at here in this lesson.
Mister, we stopped at factoring with grouping.
Factoring with grouping. Factoring with grouping. Here, explain 3, right? So let us first quickly solve some questions.
Okay.
Up here. Yes, Bismillah. The first question. Let me ask any one of you to help me solve this question. Factor each polynomial over the integers. And we have, hi, how are you, Mr. Muhammad? Okay, are you ready, all of you? Okay, guys, let's get started. How to factor, and it's important topic, guys.
Which page?
Search here in your book. I don't know which page, but it's example number 1 in your list. Okay, so the first example, I think it's solved example 6x cubed plus 15x squared plus 6x. So simply, when I have x is involving in all terms you should take the greatest common factor. And since you have this x in all terms, so take the one that including only the least exponent. The least what? Exponent. So what x here, including the least exponent? X power 3 or x power 2 or x power 1?
X power 1.
X power 1. So directly take it as a common factor. So we will take here the least one in the exponent, which is x to the power of 1. Yes. Yes. When I take x as a common factor up here, open parentheses, and then I don't know which page,
Something, yeah.
Yeah, we would like, I'm talking about the variables first, and then I will talk about the numbers. We have 6 and 15 and 6. So search for a number that includes these 2 numbers in his table, like what number?
3.
6 and 15 are divisible. Yeah, it's 3, right. And then divide each term by this common factor, which is 6x cubed divided by 3x.
2x2.
First of all, 6 divided by 3, which is 2. And
2x2.
Excellent. And x squared. And now 15x squared divided by 3x gives here.
5x.
Gives what? Gives 5x plus 6x divided 3x. 6
2.
divided 3 is 2, and x divided x is 1. Just give me, you guys, 1 minute, and then I take that. Okay, guys, sorry. So this is my what factorization. So again, I took 3x as a common factor. Why 3? Because I have 6 and 15 and 6. I have 6 and 15 and 6. So what table, guys, including these 3 numbers, 6, 15, and 6? These 3 numbers are divisible by what number? By 3. Okay. Yes, 6 is divisible by 3, and 15 is divisible by 3, and it can be divided by 3 evenly with no remainder 0. Yeah. So 15 divided 3 is 5, and 6 divided 3 is 2. And as you notice here, x cubed divided by x becomes x squared, and you drop down 1 from the exponent only. When you divide, subtract the exponents, here is 1, so 3 divided by, x power 3 divided by x power 1 gives x squared. And x squared divided x gives x. Because when you do it like this, x squared over x, you just subtract the exponents, 2 minus 1. So it's x only, to the power of 1. Okay, which page, guys, here? I'd like to write here which page.
It is 310.
310, Mr. Okay. Mr. Yusuf, Mr. Hamza Hamdi, it's page 310. This is for example number 1, letter A. Next example, I have 2 terms, binomial, and it's to the power of 3, so it's a cubic. And since you have 2 terms, including x, you have to think of the greatest common factor of these 2 terms. Who can tell me, guys, about the x's first? I always start with the variable x. Since I have x cubed, then x, which x we have to take?
X. The x cube, we will take 2x.
We will take x first. I'm talking about 2 and 20. You said 2, right? Yes, excellent. So 2x all is a greatest common factor of 2x cubed and 20x. Now, divide. هذا اللي فوق 2x cubed dividing by 2x. 2 divided by 1. Huh?
Square.
X squared minus 10.
Minus
10x.
20x divided again by 2x. 20x divided again by 2. X gives 10. Now, we have to look carefully, guys, for the expression inside the parentheses. Is it difference of 2 squares or not? So let's say first, I think that you studied here difference of 2 squares, right, in the previous lesson. So what is difference of 2 squares again? Difference between 2 squares means that I said 2 squares, right? Difference means minus.
Yes.
Difference means minus. Here's minus. Okay. Between 2 squares لازم يكونوا 2 squares. يعني الأول يكون first يعني complete square أو perfect square, and the second should be also a perfect square. But the second term fails this property, so I will not complete my factorization using the difference of 2 squares. Okay. إمتى أكمل يا شباب? When we have 10. بدل 10 we can find 25, 36, 81, 4, a number that is perfect square. I can factorize and complete one more step. But since x squared minus 10 and 10 is not a perfect square, يعني there is no number multiplied by itself gives a 10.
Mr. I want just to say for you that we finished this lesson.
I know, but I'm going to quickly revise quickly what you studied before, and then we will move quickly to your what? Here's your term, you did it, right? And it's the same as the first example. Your term number 4. And here's, guys, what I said, which is the difference of 2 squares, a squared minus b squared, and the perfect square trinomial. It's important, a plus b all squared. You just square the first plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, you did example 2, right? The sum of 2 cubes. Yeah, how
Yes,
to do
we
it
did solve
quickly.
it before.
Okay, so let's do it quickly here. And I'm gonna write the rule here quickly. The rule that a cubed plus b cubed, when I have the sum of 2 cubes, we just open small parentheses and the long one. And then we have what?
A
plus b, which is the cubic root of each one of them. And then the second is parentheses.
A
square the first, change the sign, multiply first by second, and then square the second. Okay, square the b becomes b squared. So in this example, who can solve, guys? Yes, Zain, Eddin, Usama.
Yes, it will be 3x. 3x.
2 parentheses, one of them is a small and the other is long one like this. Right, it's 3x, excellent, which is the cubic root of this number, right?
Plus 4.
The cubic root of 64 is 4. Yani what times itself 3 times going to give us 64, which is 4, right? In the next parentheses,
9x squared.
Square 3x 9x squared, right?
Minus 12x. Minus 12x.
Excellent. multiply first by second and the change sign plus
Just 16 plus 16.
square 4, which is 16. Excellent. Any question? Yes, here the difference of two squares, yani the same rule, a cubed minus b cubed, but in this formula we have to what? A minus b here, and a squared plus ab means a times b plus b squared. So who can do it here? Raise hand please to participate. Let me ask Ahmed Hassan. Ahmed Hassan. Yes, Ahmed, how to do it? Open small parentheses like this and the long one. And I'm hearing you. Yes. Nice. Muhammad Sultan.
Mr. Can I answer?
Mr. Also, can I answer?
Can I answer, Mr.?
Okay.
Yeah, me
يلا.
too. Can I answer?
Yeah, let me ask you, يلا Muhammad Amr.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, what Muhammad?
Okay, at first, the a minus b, it will equal 2
A minus
x
b. It's 2x. Here, the cubic root of minus
2.
minus what?
Minus 3, sorry, minus 3.
Cubic root of 27 is 3. Right.
Yes. Sorry.
Square
After
the
it,
first.
it will be 4x square.
Yeah, and the
Plus.
change of the sign here should be plus, and then multiply them together.
Multiply them, it will equal 6x
And square the
minus
second,
plus
which is
9.
9. Excellent. Okay. Here your turn. The question we did it, but let's concentrate here, guys, for the new issue here. I think that one of you said to me that you have to start your lesson from here by grouping.
Yes.
Yes, by grouping is so easy, but focus only with me, guys. How many terms we have here to factor this polynomial by grouping? How many terms I have? I have 4 terms, right?
Yes. Yes.
When you have 4 terms, directly your way to factorize is grouping. I'm gonna take the first and second term, group the first and second term in one parentheses, plus group the third and the fourth term in another parentheses. Again, the first and second together in one parentheses, plus the third and the fourth term, okay, together in another parentheses. And imagine that you have 2 questions. The first one, x cubed minus x squared, as we did in the previous questions. We took GCF here. Take greatest common factor from the first parentheses. Since x is repeated or common here, I'm gonna take x squared as a common factor. When you do so, guys, we have to divide x cubed by x squared, which is x. And x squared divided by x squared minus 1, because when you divide something by itself, it gives 1. Now you have x minus 1 the same. I cannot do anything with x minus 1, no common factors between them, so write it the same. If you notice here, guys, that we have what do you see, guys? That we have something repeated or something common, which is x minus 1 and x minus 1. And x minus 1.
common factor.
Excellent. You can take the x minus 1 as a common factor. We will take x minus 1 as a common factor. طيب. When you take it, guys, from the first term as a common factor, لو أخذنا x minus 1 as a common factor here from the first term, إيه اللي remainder? Take it outside. Still x squared, right?
Plus 1. So it will
Yes, and when you take x squared all outside the bracket, still 1. Nice. And this is your final answer. This is the grouping way. So again, when I have 4 terms, the first step is to group the first and second and third and fourth, each one in alone or in a separate parentheses. من the first parentheses, I took x squared the common factor. x squared the common factor. طبعا دايما باخد the least exponent, the least power, x squared. x cubed divided x squared, x, and x squared divided itself, x squared, it's minus 1. plus the second parenthesis the same لأن no common factors between x and 1. لاحظت إن عندي x minus 1. x minus 1 is repeated, or as your friend said, it's what common factor. Take x minus 1 outside as a greatest common factor. X minus 1 is a greatest outside. In the first term here, we still have x squared. In the second term, we still have 1. Okay, and this is your final step. Any question? This is how to factorize by grouping.
All is easy.
Okay, yeah, guys, if you have any question, please raise your hand. Yes, or ask me. Yeah, if you have any question, raise your hand. Yes, or no?
مستر بس إذا كان بين الترمز minus.
Yeah, we have to deal with it as plus. I'll take it as a greatest common factor minus. If here يعني minus.
Can you give me example, please?
Yes, I think that we should have an example of this one. How many times here? 3 times. Imagine that it's a minus here, and this one is plus. The same example. Same example, okay? X cubed minus x squared, and here minus x minus 1. Minus x plus 1, okay? Let's name it b. Yeah, so what's the first step we should do? What's the first step we have to do? Make 2 parentheses. أعمل 2 parentheses الأول. X cubed minus x squared and plus عادي, okay? Open parentheses, negative x plus 1, okay? This is the third and the fourth, and this is the first and second. From the first parentheses, what's the greatest common factor between them? X
power 2.
X power 2,
yes.
Right. طيب, divide x cubed by x squared gives?
X minus 1.
Minus 1, excellent.
Yes.
Then, ركز بقى معايا. في النيجاتيف اللي جوا دي, you can take it also as a greatest common factor because the first term عنده negative, the second term doesn't have negative, so we can take negative common factor. Why? عشان يطلع نفس ال x minus 1. When I take x negative as the common factor, x minus 1. Again, pay attention, it's a good question, it's very important. When you have minus here, I do it as plus. من second parentheses, I took negative common factor. Here, when you take this negative common factor, the x becomes positive and the positive 1 becomes a negative 1. And if you'd like to check your answer, multiply this negative inside the parentheses using the distributive property.
Okay.
Okay, and then complete. Yeah, how to complete here?
Common factor x.
Yes, common factor x minus 1 again, and open another bracket. أنا بعمل bracket عشان أميز بس ما بين ال parentheses x minus 1 and the bracket including the remainder from the previous step.
Mr. X power 2 plus 1.
X power 2 minus also the same, minus 1.
Minus.
And here, listen, and here, in this case, we have to complete one more step. What's the next step? عايز حد ممتاز يقول لي بقى. What's the next step?
Yes, I know.
Yes?
Difference of 2 squares.
Excellent, Mazen. Yeah, which is the difference of 2 squares. And note, guys, the difference between the two questions. The first one I stopped because x squared plus 1 is what? Irreducible, right? Or non-factorable. It's non-factorable.
Yes, reducible.
Reducible, I think, yeah. But yeah, I said always not factorable, and we cannot factorize it. X minus 1 and here x squared minus 1. How to factorize it as difference of 2 squares?
It will be x plus 1 and x minus 1.
X plus 1 and x minus 1. So what's the difference between the two questions, guys? X squared minus 1 لازم تكمل. You have to factor completely.
X minus 1 squared, right?
X minus 1, x plus 1. How x squared minus 1. You can factorize as the difference of 2 squares. X plus 1, x minus 1. But x squared plus 1, it's a non-factor.
I am saying in the Mr. See the last answer, x minus 1 times x plus 1 times x minus 1.
Yeah,
We
you
can
can complete one more step, x and x minus 1 all to the power of
2
2
times
x,
x plus 1.
x plus 1. Right. It's perfect now. Thanks a lot. Okay, next question, letter B. Letter B. Yeah, شباب. Who can answer here this question? Who can try with me to answer this question?
حلو يا مستر.
What's your name?
سهل.
Suhail. Okay. طيب.
مستر
Yes, Suhail.
نسوي brackets بين first term
You can do it here directly عشان to save your time.
أيوة.
Do it quickly and then from the first
common
parenthesis.
factor. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, from the first parentheses, common factor can.
X.
X4 or X3, take the least one in the exponent.
X power 3.
X power 3, oh, it's like this. And then?
X plus 1.
X plus 1, X. You know, guys, why it's plus 1? Dividing X cubed by X cubed gives 1. Okay, yes. Plus
X plus 1.
X plus 1, the same. Now, the common factor here is
X plus 1.
X plus 1. What we have to do, take one of them. Take one of them as a common factor, right? And
yes.
The remainder from the first.
X power 2.
X power 3. The same.
Yes, X power 3.
Comes here. Plus.
X
plus what? When you take the whole term outside as a greatest common factor, so your remainder is 1. In the second term here, you took it أصلا outside فبقى مكان 1. You can complete. Thank you, Suhail. It's a great job. Obada Kattash. Complete. From the previous knowledge, the part you studied with Mr. Omar, he said for you there is something is called the sum of two cubes, right? The sum of two cubes. And we did here one example of the sum of two cubes and the difference of two cubes, and here is the rule. Yeah, may you complete, mister, to factorize x cubed plus 1. You have to follow this rule. A plus b, and then a squared minus ab plus b squared. Yes, may you complete, Obada?
May I answer instead of him?
MashaAllah. Well, you know, guys, I always, when your teacher asks you to complete or respond to his question and you didn't answer, he will deduct 1 mark from you. So take care. I will not do anything today because I'm not your main teacher. But you know this rule from your teacher. So please prepare your mic and always respond to your teacher while explaining. When he asks you to complete, to do something, you have to be ready. So all from your
I can complete.
I can complete.
You are depending only that 3 or 4 or 5 of you are answering and the rest are watching what happened. You should participate. All of you. Yalla, let's ask here. Yalla Zain. Zain Usama.
Yes.
Yes, Zain. X cubed plus 1.
X cube will be x, the cube of x3.
I will open a small parenthesis and a long one to only factorize the x cubed plus 1.
X.
Right. Yes. The cubic root of the first is what? Is x. The cubic root of 1. What is the cubic root of 1? You can ask yourself what number multiplied by itself 3 times gives 1. Sure, 1. Right?
Yes.
So it's a
So
plus 1.
It will be x2
Second
plus.
parenthesis depends on you. Depends on this parenthesis.
X square.
Right.
X square minus.
Excellent.
X.
Minus x, the multiplication of x and 1. Plus the squaring of 1, which is 1. That's it. Can we factorize x squared minus x plus 1? Do we have two numbers? Their product is 1 and the sum of them is negative 1?
Can you repeat what you said? I didn't hear you.
Okay, I'm going to highlight for you here this part and I will ask again. Do we have the ability to factorize this part here? x squared, this trinomial, x squared minus x plus 1? Can we?
No.
Yes, say why, please. Why?
How we can
Because
find the answer? Add them 1 and minus of them is negative 1.
there is no two numbers, their product is 1, and when we add them, when we add the same numbers, it gives a negative 1. Okay, here is the product and here is the sum. The product is here always and the sum is in the middle. So there is no two numbers. The product of them, 1 and 1 only. 1 and 1 gives 1, but can you add 1 and 1 gives a negative 1? Negative 1 and negative 1 gives a negative 2. But one of them is positive and the other is negative. No, so also it's what? It's not factorable, okay?
Yes.
So leave it like this. So always, guys, in this kind of questions, especially the grouping or the polynomial that consists of 4 terms, بتشتغلها grouping وبعدين في الآخر, as I do like this, you have to check the last step. Can I complete or stop? Because sometimes you have to complete or factor completely. Okay? Any question?
Yes.
Mister,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, what is the question?
Mister, why we cannot complete factorizing?
Because I explained here at the right that when طبعا the first two term, the first two factors, x plus 1, x plus 1, x plus 1 all squared, خلاص, no factorization. But x squared minus x plus 1, I think of two numbers, their product 1 here. Here is the product. What times what gives 1? 1 and 1. 1 times 1 gives 1, but the sum of them, the sum, since I have plus here, so the sum of them should be negative 1, low in the middle here. Can you add 1 and 1 and gives a negative 1? Can you subtract 1 and 1 and gives a negative 1? No. So it's not factorable. If it's equation, هتاخدها بعدين. If it's equation, يعني هنا equals 0, ممكن اخد x squared minus x plus 1 and solve it by using the quadratic formula you studied in the first term. Okay? ده لو هي equation. أما هي دلوقتي expression, you will not complete. You will stop till here.
Okay, now I
Your final
understand.
answer is x squared minus x plus 1. And this topic is very, very important, guys, for you. And you have to be fast on this topic. يعني التوبكس لازم تبقى سريع فيها عشان يصير. Next question, it's your turn question, guys. And from the name, you have to do it in your own. So I'm gonna give you, يلا, 3 minutes, fair? Right, 3 minutes, fair, يلا. For all. And if you finish, raise hand, guys. I'm gonna select one of you to answer. You have 3 minutes from now, start.
Page what, Mister?
I think at page 311, 12, like this. Search. It's your turn the question. اللي have explained 3 in page, I think. I don't have the book, which is 300, maybe 13, 300, like this. I don't have the books here. Okay. So your time, guys, to solve. And if you answer, guys, if you finish it, raise your hand, please. Anytime. Okay, guys, who finished? If you finished, guys, raise your hand, please. I'd like to check your answer. Yeah, raise hand, please. Yusuf, Haddadi, excellent. If you finish, guys, solve this question and you are ready to answer, raise hand, please.
Can
You're
I
still
answer?
solving, tell me, guys, I need a point.
So, Mr. I solve.
Wait, Yusuf, I'm just checking if you finish or not. Raise hand, guys. Only 3 in the class that finished this question. Or is still solving? Raise hand. The 3 finished, the 3 minutes finished. خلاص. Okay. 33. Okay, Muhammad Mahmoud. Muhammad Mahmoud. Yes, Muhammad.
Yes, Mr.
Yes,
I
Muhammad.
think it can be divisible. It can recoverable, I think.
All. We will not
Yes,
solve by
because
grouping.
okay, Mr. Yeah, I use grouping way.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
So,
solve with you
yeah,
again.
yeah.
So it will be x3 power 3 plus 3x power 2 plus 3x plus 2.
Yeah.
So the first bracket, if we make the x power 2,
As a common factor, you
yes,
mean
so it will be x power 2 plus 3. But the
x
second
only.
bracket, x plus 3, yes.
Yes. And the second
Yeah,
bracket.
like if I talk 3 as a common factor.
Yeah, we cannot take it at 3 as a
Yes,
common factor.
yes, that's why it can be
Yeah.
divisible. Yeah.
So who complete, guys? Who did it in another way? Thank you, Muhammad. Yes. Yeah, there is hand, please. Yeah.
Mr. I think I have another way.
Yeah, what?
Add like terms.
Add like terms? No like terms, yeah.
No,
The like terms. We have x cubed and x squared and x and 2, yeah, no like terms. You know, like terms means what? Means power 3 with power 3, power 2 with power 2, and so. So, yeah, thank you. Yes, who can complete, guys? Yeah, who did it in another way?
Mr.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, Yusuf.
If I write my answer in this way, is it correct or it should be simpler than this?
Yes. This is your final answer?
Yeah, if the answer you are saying on the board is my final answer, is this correct or no?
No, you have to do it in
you need to be accurate.
huh? Yeah, how to simplify it more than this.
Okay.
Leave it like this. طيب. Who answered, guys, the question like this? Huh? What do you answer here? Finished it till this step? Okay. Okay. Just give me one minute, guys. And let's move to what here, these exercises. I think it's from what? Yeah, let's practice. Here, number 1, who did it? I think we solved this question with Mr. Omar, right?
Yes, Mr.
Number
Until
1.
only the last 4 questions we didn't solve it.
4 questions in what? In the lesson or the exercises?
And the
Mr.
exercise.
But in number 7, the
Yeah.
last one, this was the final answer, yes?
Yes. And نشوف 13. But we can do it in another way. Yeah, factor the
Mr.
following by grouping. Who can do it, guys? Yes.
Yes, I can solve it.
Fine. 13.
Yes. We will make 2 brackets or parentheses with x squared plus 8x, x cubed plus 8x squared plus, this is alone, and 6x plus 48 in another parentheses.
Yeah, x cubed plus in another parentheses. Yes. Time for GCF.
And we're gonna take a common factor for the first parentheses as x to the power of 2, and then the other one as 6.
X squared, so we still have x plus what?
plus 8.
8, right? And yeah,
And
you take 6 common factor.
6 and x plus 8 also.
Yeah, when you have a common factor like x plus 8 and x
Factor,
plus 8.
which is yes, so it is x plus 8 in a parentheses, and another one x squared plus 6
Yeah, x
multiplied
squared
each other.
plus 6. And please, guys, don't put any sign between the two parentheses. Sometimes, or the common mistakes of some students, that there is a sign here between the two parentheses. No. So your final answer is x plus 8 into x squared plus 6. Any question? This question 13. Question 14, I'm going to take it as a homework. So please solve. I'm sure you're going to submit your answer tomorrow for your teacher, Mr. Omar Khalif. Okay, question 15. Which module here, this one, guys? Is it 4?
4 again, sorry.
Which module here?
This is Mr. Module 6, lesson 4. Module 6.
Module 6, right?
Yes.
Yes, lesson 4. You have quiz on Wednesday. About all lessons, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 5.
I know, yes.
So prepare your Yes. Next question, let's solve here number 15. Yeah. Rani? Yes, Rani, how are you?
Mr.
Master.
Okay,
So here we will make parentheses between 8x power 4 plus 8x power 3.
Okay.
Okay.
And another parentheses on?
Yes, 27x plus 27.
Yes.
And then we'll take the greatest common factor, which is here 8x power 3.
Yeah, excellent. 8x to the power of 3. And we still have here?
So it will be 8x plus 1.
X plus 1, right.
And then here we have on the second one, the greatest common factor is 27. So it will be x plus 1 or 2.
Yes, it will be here 27 for the common factor, and then we have x plus 1. Yes, as you notice here, there is what? Yes, common factor, x plus 1 and x plus 1 again. Yeah, yes, Rani, akhir step. Maybe the last step.
Yeah, so we write x plus 1, and then open brackets, we write 8x over 3 plus 27.
8x cubed plus 27. Okay. Then next step is to factorize 8x cubed plus 27 as the sum of two cubes, right? Who can do it? Yes.
Yes, I can complete.
Ryan Ahmed. Yes, Ryan. Do you know how to factorize 8x cubed plus 27? Yes. Yeah. We are 31 now. 2 left the meeting. I'm gonna know their names. Okay, x plus 1. Okay, and now 8x cubed plus 27. Yes, Mr. Qusay. Okay, Qusay M. Qusay Muhammad, Qusay M, I don't know. But yes, Qusay. You know how to factorize 8x cubed plus 27? Oh no, guys. Inshallah. طيب مهند حسام.
Yes, Mister.
يلا 8x cubed
We'll
plus
cube
27.
8x. We'll cube it. So it will be 2x plus 3.
Don't say cubit. Cubit gonna be a big number, I think 200 something. Take the square root, radical cubic root of the third root of 8x cubed, which is 2x, right? Plus the cubic root of 27, the cubic root of 27, the family of 3.
3.
Then the big
to be 4x power 2 plus 6x
minus
plus
change
9.
the sign minus. يبقى هي بلس يبقى دي تكون ماينس والعكس
6x
plus
plus 9.
Plus 9. That's it. Thanks a lot.
Mister, I have a question.
Yeah, Mister. Here you go.
Can you go to number 7 your turn? I didn't understand how to do it well.
Yeah, number 7. We stopped at this part, but we stopped here. Yeah, we stopped here, but it's not the final answer, right? because there is no common factor. If you started to do it by grouping, I'll give you here the same one, the same يعني the correct answer يعني. أو مثلا أصحابك بدأوا فيها grouping ووقفوا صح؟ x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 2, no common factor between them. So from the first three terms, x cubed and these two terms here, forget this step, guys. يلا. I'm gonna take x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x in only one parentheses, and then plus what? Plus this 2. Okay.
Okay.
From the first parentheses consists of three terms, as you did in the previous questions or in the beginning of the lesson. What you talk, guys? We talk x common factor, right? Right.
Yes.
Now we have x squared plus
Plus
3x plus 3
plus 3.
right? And then plus 2.
And now we can trinomial. No, we're not having it.
So let me think of this again. We can write here, yeah, it is this parentheses and you know, guys, x squared and the 3x squared plus 3x, okay, only, and then here plus what? Plus this 2. 3x squared plus this 2 can be written as what? 3 minus 1, right? And we can take a common factor here ما بينهم يعني. It's not related with your lesson.
Mister, what if we just can we break the 3x square and 3x into, for example, 2x and x
and 3x, okay? And then this 2 can be written as and 3 what? Minus 1, okay? And then plus x cubed. Or right here the x cubed, no problem. And then you have to take a common factor between these three terms, x cubed and 3x and 3. Do you see here my here x cubed and 3x squared and the 3. And this one I would like to write it as something not like this, the 3 minus 1, or yes,
Mister,
yes.
I
Let's
think
take
we
here
can
x
make
common factor, or 3 common factor. We can take here from these three terms, we can take x common factor, so you still have x squared plus 3x plus x, sorry, plus what? Plus 3, and then plus 2. The answer is x squared plus
How
3.
come, Mr. How? How we leave 3? X times 3 is 3x, not 3.
Because yeah, it's 3. Sorry.
I think,
Mister, I have another way.
What?
This is the simplest one.
Yeah. No. We have another way, and I did it before. But wait, sorry.
I have it. I know it. I think.
Yes. What? From x cubed and 3x squared and 3x, and we will write this 2 as 3. We have to write it as a 3.
No, I don't think. We just make
plus
it
3x plus
Wait.
plus what? Plus 3 plus 2. Yes. Then this 3x, this 3x can be written, guys, as 2x and 1x plus 3 plus what?
Yeah.
Plus 2.
Okay.
Then we can write it from the beginning like this, and then 2x and 2, and take 2 as a common factor. If we take 2 as a common factor, so we have x plus 1. Okay, and then we have x squared plus x plus 1 also. Okay, then your final answer will be x squared plus x plus 1, and this all times x plus 1.
Okay, sir, can you multiply so we can check?
Yeah. You can check here. Your final answer
I think
is x
it is
squared
x
plus
plus
1 times x is plus 2, not plus 1.
Yes. Now it's correct. But I think it would be easier if we just take 3x squared plus 3x and divide them from the beginning.
Yeah, you take 3 as a common factor?
No, we divide 3x squared into x and 2x.
Divide 3 only as 2x and x.
Yes.
Yes, so
and
we have x cubed plus 3x squared plus.
We also divide 3x
2x
squared.
and x plus 2. Type x cubed plus, you need to write it as 2x squared and x squared plus 2x plus x plus 2, right? Yes. From x cubed
With x squared and
squared
x.
and x, we can take x common factor. You still have x squared plus plus 2.
No, I was using a different bit way. يعني.
Hmm.
X squared, x cubed plus x squared plus x in a bracket, and 2x
Yes.
squared plus 2x plus 2
Yeah,
and
correct.
another
X
one.
plus x squared plus
X
plus x, right? And another parentheses, which is
2x
2x squared, right?
squared
Plus
plus 2x plus 2.
2x plus 2. It's very nice, yes. And here take x common factor. Still have x squared plus x plus 1, right? This is the correct way.
Yes.
Yeah. If we take 2
And
common
here we'll
factor,
have 2
x squared plus x plus 1. Now take x squared plus x. Yeah, this is the way. I solved it before. So we have x plus 2. Yes. Yeah, right, like this. So we have to erase this one. Your way is correct, yes. Because you have to also split out the 2x, the 3x squared as 2x squared, right? And the x squared. And split also the 3x squared, the 3x as 2x and what? And x. So it's not grouping, grouping in another way. You have to write first these two terms as the sum of what? As the sum of 2x squared and x squared. And 3x, you have to write it as 2x plus x.
Mr.
Yes, thank you guys, and sorry for making you late, guys, and goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.